welcome to Cosmic Alchemy with Monique Lindner. And today I have a tarot reading for the collective. I want to look at what we need as a collective right now. I know that it's a very heavy time. I'm recording this on February 2nd. It's a full moon in Leo today. Happy full moon, everyone. And I know that I struggle these days with everything that's happening. Looking at Myanmar, looking at Iran, looking at Sudan and Congo and Yemen and Syria and Minnesota and the US, the whole, and so many other countries in this world. Um, of course, not to forget Palestine. Uh, I don't want to forget any of the others, but I think I could just record a very long video listing all of the countries and all of the crisis zones. And well, I think we should actually do this at some point. But today's reading is actually about what Spirit is wanting us to know what we need at this moment. And I chose more gentle cards because I feel like what we need right now um, is a little bit more gentleness, not in terms of our outwards actions, but how we treat ourselves and how we can deal with what we see and hear and the information we get every single day. And yes, I want to do this reading. If you're new here, welcome. I I thank you for being here. Please like and comment and leave your thoughts and share this video with someone who may need it. If you're not new here, we had a little change of direction. Not direction per se, but change of design and naming. So um, you're not confused. This is how it's supposed to be. I I found my clarity, let's just say it this way. Um, Also, since this is Tarot and Tea, our tarot series, I have my tea with me. So today I have a green matcha. Um, and I drink it actually as a hot latte a with almond milk because I'm one of those who can't drink real like or else you see me running for the hills very soon. And we don't want that. So I stick with the almond milk, but it's a green matcha latte from Japan. And I should actually look at the region where it comes from. So next time I have matcha with me, I will let you know. And also um if you're very mindful and very aware, you see I have another whole set of tea over there. This is the herbal tea that I mix for myself every day. Is every day a different mix. So yes, next time I tell you more about the mix of herbal tea that I'm bringing to the readings. So now I shall get into it and we will just see what comes through. I would love to know where you're tuning in from. So if you would leave a comment down below, that would be wonderful. And also, I would love to know how you're doing. Maybe just in a sentence, let us know. Okay. So, this deck is the Shaman's Dream from Colette Baron-Reid and Alberto Villoldo. And we're starting off with many masks, the authentic self. Let's see if this. Okay. What I immediately hear Spirit saying is that it's time to really step forward, take off the masks that we were carrying in terms to fit in to certain groups or to disappear into certain groups. And it's time to step into our authentic self and show up as our authentic self. And it's interesting because there are different faces on here, a mask, but the face that I'm seeing looks like a robot. And it looks like a AI kind of fused being. And what I hear in regards to that is that we're we're not supposed to we're not supposed to have AI, whether it's the technology or the language models or the energy behind it speak for us. We're not supposed to have it think for us. We're not supposed to have it be for us. The uniqueness about ourself is that we feel, that we have all of these emotions, that we have this uniquely embodied experience, and it's time for us to step into that. And one of the main characteristics of that is that we can feel empathy and compassion. And it's really time for us to embody what empathy and compassion looks like, how it looks like to care for ourselves and for our neighbors. And it doesn't have to be our direct neighbor. It can be our neighbor across the world. Um, and to show up authentically in the way and in the role that we can best fill. And so that means if you have always wanted to share your sentiment about what you see in this world, then now is the right time. Like the best time has been yesterday and the day before. But really, like before it's too late, the best time is now. And then it doesn't have to be the way that others do it. You don't have to follow a script. You don't have to follow what AI is maybe telling you or what all the influencers may be saying what you should be doing, if influencers at all saying something. But it really is about how you would authentically want to express how you feel about what you experience right now. And if you're not someone who would, for example, go onto the front lines and be an activist for whatever reason, then maybe you're someone who has the ability because they connect wildly through networks to fundraise. Or maybe you're someone who is indeed deeply caring, and then you can help caring for the people who need the most support right now. Or I think you get the understanding, like you get the point of what I'm trying to help you understand here. And it's really time we take off the masks and we stop being afraid of how the world is seeing us or perceiving us, or how the people around us maybe seeing us differently from how we try to control how they see us. Because, first of all, there's no way they've been seeing you the way that you try to control them to see you. And then, second of all, they have been carrying masks too. So the moment that you can take off your masks is going to help them take off their masks as well. So it's going to have a ripple effect. And the more you can show up authentically, the more other people around you will do the same thing and will be able to do the same thing. And with this card, the Dragon Horde protecting the future, what I immediately heard was, especially in connection with this card as well, is it's our time right now. There is no one coming to save us. It's our, it's, I can't say it enough. It's our moment right now to protect our future, the future of your kids, your grandkids, like whoever is in your lineage and environment, and whomever you want to protect the future for. But if you are looking at this world right now and you feel maybe overwhelmed or sad or frustrated or angry or frozen or utterly disturbed, and even all of that, because you have the reason to feel all of that, then it's up to us to change that. We cannot wait for a for a dragon to come and save us. Even though there may be spirits, and maybe you have dragon spirits around you, but there may be spirits to guide us and to help empower us in our actions and um our change and what we have to do in order to protect our future. But really, you see, there is a bundle of keys here that's hanging from the crystal ball that the dragon's holding on to. And it's almost like he's holding out the keys to our future right in front of us. They're dangling right in front of us, but it's on us to grab those keys and open doors to new future. And to me, what I see behind the dragon and in like beyond all of that is there is a bright future. There can be a brighter future, but only if we're taking the keys and if we're going ahead and taking the necessary actions in all different ways to protect this future. And it may look like learning emotional stability in yourself, finding a home in yourself. It may be having to process trauma and then making sure you're not responding anymore from a place of being traumatized, but instead from a place of stability and being grounded. And maybe you will have to move across the world because you feel like in the place that you're at, you're not stable or the environment is not what you need. And then that's what you may have to do. And you will have to start planning that and creating this new future for yourself. And maybe right now, the next step is to literally survive and then go from there. And so the key really is that you have the keys in your hand. And even though there's a lot of things that are not in our hands, but this really is. Remember the overall question for this reading was what does the collective need, right? What do you need in these really turbulent times? And so as the story unfolds here, we we hear that we have the deep diver diving into a task. And I feel this really connects with what we just said above. Taking your masks off and stepping into this one role, and then going ahead, taking the keys and protecting the future. And what I heard when this card came up, diving into a task, is that this task is both for yourself and for the service of your community, for the service of the greater good. And if you can, if you can find something that you just hyper focus on, you will know and you will feel the purpose coming back from it. So your reward will be that you feel a purpose in it. So one thing that I know is that if I go through these times where we are bombarded with all of these events, with all of these atrocities, with all of these new informations, everything, I can easily lose myself into like hour-long doom scrolling. But if I can just find one task that I keep doing every day that will help maybe someone. And so one of the things is that I amplify voices online because I don't feel like adding my voice to the mix necessarily is, in that case, what is helpful. So I amplify voices from Myanmar. I amplify voices from Iran. I amplify voices from Minnesota. I amplify voices from Palestine. And so on, and so on, and so on. And I'm no influencer whatsoever. I have, especially my Instagram is tiny. My Facebook has way more people, but I'm forever already shadow banned. The same 10 people see my posts from over like 5,800 people that I have on my Facebook. But once in a while, there is something that breaks through the mold a little bit, not in a viral way or something, but just another person who usually doesn't see it sees it and will start chewing on it, or maybe not. You can't force them, you know? But so In times like these, I'm holding on to diving into that task and making sure I'm not diverting from it and not splitting into all of these different directions. And then another one is writing, of course. I'm a writer, and so I write about the things that may not have to do necessarily with whatever happens in this moment, but in the greater scheme of life, it probably is all connected. So I do write about the topics that come up for me, and I focus on that. And so Spirit is saying, choose one thing that will help your community, your environment, your neighbors, or whoever, that helps not only yourself, but the reward will be that you feel more focus and clarity, but also you get back this sense of purpose with it. And I think um, in the same way, we have this card. I think it's very beautiful. The Fool's Embrace, Transmuting Pain. I think I can speak personally a lot to that because I have in my whole life a tremendous amount of pain. And surely sometime down the line I will speak about that on my channel. But what I see here is hold on tight. Hold on tight to yourself, but also the people around you um, that you love, but also the ones that maybe you may not seem necessarily to have a close connection to, but who are in pain. Because I don't know. I don't know if you have in a lot of pain, whether it's physical or mental or emotional, for a prolonged amount of time. But what pain does to you, especially over a prolonged amount of time, is it breaks you down cell by cell. It just, uh, you need an incredible amount of willpower and strength and inner resilience to resist being broken down by pain. And so when you have this point of accepting pain, then you can transmute it. And now here's the thing. I'm not talking about being in the middle of a war zone and being in such deadly pain to sit there and accept that and then transmute it. This is spiritual bypassing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when it's over or when you have, let's just say, you had an accident and your leg is broken and um, now you suffer from the pain of the broken leg, but you also suffer from replaying the story in your head, how the accident happened, and if you didn't do this, you could have maybe not have the accident, all the kind of things. This is prolonging the pain because you're suffering twice. You're suffering in real life and you're suffering in your mind over and over again the more you play the story. And so, if you can accept that pain of the broken leg, you will suffer once through the pain of the broken leg. But when that pain is gone, you can, like the physical pain, you can transmute the the suffering in the moment and you can transmute what the pain has done to you after that accident and you can work through it and you probably may gain something from it. And I'm not saying you learn a lesson or something, but maybe you gain more awareness. Maybe the next time you're not driving like that or walking, jaywalking over the street or whatever happened with the accident. And maybe it wasn't your fault or but even just the pattern recognition that sunk into your body and into your subconscious will help you the next time. And so I think what Spirit is trying to tell us is that right now, the people who are in safety, but seeing through their screens the suffering of others, we are experiencing something that can be called secondary trauma response, right? And I'm not saying look away because I feel like the world sometimes needs to be more of a witness. Otherwise, they can just keep lying to us even more and pretending it didn't happen. But know where your boundaries are. Know when it's too much for you. And before that, turn off the screens, go offline, do nervous system regulation. Have tools ready for you to process the information that you've seen and how to deal with these secondary trauma responses that may come up for you. And for those of us who are physically safe and not in the middle of these war zones and crisis zones and under attack right now, we are the ones who need to be able to transmute this pain, not only for ourselves, but especially for the others. We need to be able to hold our neighbors, our community, the world in their suffering because the people who are under attack, fighting for their freedoms in resistance, they are not the ones who have the ability right now to do this work. So it's our work to stay grounded and to do even more of our nervous system work, but also to support them, to uplift them, to send messages of love, to check in even more. They will not check in with you because they have everything else to do. And it will be for a long while that that's what's happening. And so um, I think there's a lot of this coming up for me through this card. Like I feel like I get this whole podcast from Spirit almost like um and I think really it's the most important. And did you see that there is a full moon in the back? Just saying, because it's a full moon today. I think the most important is that the more we can build capacity for ourselves and outside of ourselves, we can share capacity with others to hold them and support them. I think that's really what we need to do so we can collectively, because remember, this is what the collective needs. It's not just about you and me and maybe your friend, it's about the whole collective, that we collectively can transmute this pain. Okay, so this was the card that came last, the Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. Now, if you're in the middle of of some atrocity right now, and I keep saying this because we need, and especially, and I need to say this because as spiritual practitioners, as spiritual healers, as spiritual whatever it is, if you do not make a difference between systemic issues and personal issues, then you do not have the means to support people spiritually. It is what it is. We cannot give messages out into the world and do not make important differentiations and disclaimers. And then people may hear that and are in the middle of a, a war zone or in the middle of uh, ice raids and at the danger of being deported. And if they hear you say like, "Oh, experience life as it comes," this is not what we are talking about, okay? So I want to make sure that this is crystal clear because none of this is any of your fault. None of this is under any of your control. What messages like this from Spirit are about are to practice adaptation and acceptance as fast as you can to the situation that you are given. So, systemic issues aside, if you, for example, are currently having a job and tomorrow you go back to work and they're telling you you're being fired, that is what a message like this is about. They're saying, take it as it is. Do not try to resist the change. And I'm not saying don't fight against being fired because if it was unlawful or not legal, or have uh, if they have gone against union policies or something like this, of course, go against it, okay? But do not go against the very situation itself in yourself. Do not resist it so hard. And look, this message is probably very much for myself because do you do you know that GIF uh, from the little girl with the cowboy hat sitting on this rodeo and she's holding on for dear life? This is absolutely me. This is absolutely me. I'm holding on for dear life. I am not someone like forced changes are the hardest for me to go through and accept. I am the first one to admit this. And I'm the fastest to make changes in my own life. The moment I'm like, "Pff, done and dusted. This is it." I cannot tell you when I packed up my life in Germany 12 years ago, how fast I sold everything. I unregistered from everything. I did all of the paperwork, which usually could take up to years. No, 6 months, done and dusted. And I was out really, really fast. Anyways, these are the situations that Spirit is talking about, okay? Take life as it comes and make sure that you're going. And I absolutely hate the, the spiritual go with the flow. This is not what I'm saying, okay? I am not perpetuating these light and love kind of sayings, okay? This is also not what it's about. What it's really about is trying to adapt to what life is presenting you and accepting because then you can make changes much more quickly and without a lot of the resistance that otherwise you would feel. And the more resistance you feel to the things that are on your path, the more you suffer. Look, I have Saturn in my 12th house, okay? I, I, I ain't telling nobody how much if you do not adapt to changes fast enough, you will suffer for it. Maybe I should write a book about it. Who knows? Okay, anyways. I want to wrap up the reading and I want to I really love these cards. The deck is Bloom from Annie Tarasova from Dreamy Moons. Very, very beautiful. And I think I'm gonna pull three little cards to just wrap up this reading and to give you a little bloomy something as to what we need right now in those turbulent times. Okay, one more. Mhm. Okay, well, so the first one, thorns. Notice your weaknesses and vulnerabilities. I think that vulnerabilities are not weaknesses, they are strengths. So, when you notice your thorns, make sure you do not mistake them for weaknesses. Make sure, like the rose, you integrate them beautifully. You hide them under your leaves. But if someone comes and tries to pick you, you can get out your thorns and sting back. Gratitude. There is so much to be grateful for. And I think it can be a very difficult practice, but if you just look around right now, can you name at least one thing that you are truly appreciative of and grateful for? I certainly can because uh, that wary someone is lying on the floor snoozing, and I'm talking about my dog. And he is the coziest, wrapped up in his fluffy blanket. So that's whom I'm grateful for. What about you? It doesn't have to be a person or an animal, it can be something. And the last one, and I think this is the perfect reminder. Wildflower, you are free. Our minds are free. No matter how trapped or imprisoned we are, our minds are free and we get to decide how we use them. And there are so many people in this world right now who are in genocide, under bombs, in wars, under uh, ethnic cleansing, under attack by their own governments, deportations, and so on. So many more people daily suffering from racism, homophobia, transphobia, gender disequality. Sorry, inequality. Well, um, from Islamophobia, from anti-Semitism, from any of the isms out there, misogyny, sexism, gender violence. If you're free, you do have the responsibility for everyone who is not free, because no one is free until everyone is free. I hope this reading gave you something that will help you in these turbulent times. And until the next time, stay weird, my friend. Cheers.